We are the best. The best.
To 93.7 Citizen FM, based in Nigeria's capital.
Your number one radio station.
Looking for the best in news updates?
Yeah, man.
Listen to Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja.
Now listen.
News on the hour, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. News at noon, 12 noon. News from across the states, 4 p.m. And our major news at 6 p.m. Citizen FM 93.7. Always precise in news broadcast.
This is 93.7 Citizen FM, Abuja.
Good evening and welcome to Citizen FM News at 6. I am Didi Eno. First, the headlines. NAFDAC commences investigations on Indomie noodles. Nigerian Army sets to support federal government's food security policy. And on the foreign scene, Russian armed forces evacuates over 200 people from Sudan. President Muhammadu Buhari's administration has claimed that a total of 1.6 million poor households benefited from a bi-monthly payment of 10,000 naira each as part of the administration's plan to mitigate suffering among the citizens. The Minister of Labour, Employment and Productivity, Dr. Chris Ngige, made this known during the 2023 International Workers' Day celebrations at Eagle Square in Abuja. Ngige explained that the National Social Register of Poor and Vulnerable Nigerians now has 32.6 million persons from more than 7 million poor and vulnerable households identified across 708 local government areas. National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has said it would commence the random sampling of Indomie noodles, including the seasoning, from the production facilities. Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojishola Adeyeye, told newsmen that the agency had started investigating and responding immediately to the news of the recalled Indomie noodles by Taiwan and Malaysia authorities. NAFDAC said the importation of Indomie noodles into Nigeria has been banned for so many years, and it was on the prohibition list, saying this follows the detection of ethylene oxide, a flammable colorless gas with sweet odor, said to be potentially cancer-causing in Indomie special chicken flavor noodles by health officials in Malaysia and in Taiwan. President Muhammadu Buhari has reappointed Abike Dabiri-Arewa as the chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. Senate President Ahmed Lawan read Buhari's letter requesting the confirmation of Dabiri-Arewa's reappointment. Buhari also requested the Senate to confirm the appointment of 6 federal commissioners of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission to fill the existing vacancies in states. Stakeholders in the building industry have urged state governments to collaborate with professional bodies in order to reduce the frequency of building collapses in the country. The chairman of the Lagos chapter of the Nigeria Institute of Building, Mr. Lucky Siname, who stated this at the Institute's facilities management training held in Lagos, said that saddling professionals with the responsibility of monitoring buildings or construction from the beginning to the end would curb the menace. Isiname noted that the government needs to empower professionals in the building industry to also register them and give them the responsibility of monitoring buildings. Nigerian Army says it has taken steps to boost poultry and other agricultural activities as part of efforts to key into the federal government's food security policy. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, said this in Abuja at the opening of a 3-day poultry management workshop organized by the Nigerian Army and Farms and Ranches Limited with the theme Gaining an Edge in Poultry Management. Yahaya, who was represented at the workshop by the Chief of Logistics, Major General Omotomilola Akintade, said the NAFAL was established to spearhead the Nigerian Army's involvement in the federal government agricultural programs and to also expose it to agriculture and its full value chain. President Muhammadu Buhari has advised the incoming administration of Bola Tinubu to continue to respect workers' rights as part of its core development agenda. Buhari stated this when he delivered a speech by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. The president said his administration believed in the enrollment and the enthronement of decent work that was productive, delivered a fair income with security and social protection, and safeguarded the basic rights of workers. Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has taken steps to resuscitate rubber production in the country to increase national wealth creation, to also boost raw materials for production for local industries and exploitation and exportation. Speaking during the meeting with a delegation from International Rubber Study Group at the ministry's conference room recently in Abuja, the permanent secretary of the ministry, Dr. Ernest Omakile, stated that the federal government is committed towards diversifying the economy of the nation from oil dependency to agriculture, with focus on arable and cash crops for economic growth and development in the country. Dr. Omakile noted that the ministry over the years had been prioritizing and promoting the development of rubber value chain with the distribution of improved budded rubber stumps, planting materials, growth enhancers to farmers to raise plantation, and the facilitation of training on nursery development as well as tapping techniques. Securities and Exchange Commission, a federal government agency, has blacklisted 6 online trading entities in its recent crackdown on unregistered and illegal companies pretending to offer investment and finance services or products. The Commission in a statement stressed that the proscribed firms were unregistered and not authorized to carry out such investment services. The Commission warned the members of the public to be cautious in dealing with the firms that have embargo on them now. Nigeria has reported a total of 552 confirmed cases out of 1,686 suspected cases of meningitis, including 124 deaths, for a case fatality ratio of 7%. The cases were reported from 81 local government areas in 22 states, including the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, from October 1st, 2022 to April 16, 2023. This is according to the epidemiology situation of the disease in Nigeria as of April 27, 2023, released by the World Health Organization. It also added that the reports show that males account for 57% of the total suspected cases. Nigeria Labour Congress in Kebbi State has asked Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu to approve the harmonization of 3 increments of pensions. The NLC chairman in the state, Murtala Usman, urged the state government to pay the gratuity of workers omitted in 2017 and 2018 and to implement hazard allowance for nurses and midwives, as well as salary adjustments for lecturers, among other demands. The Congress also demanded implementation of the consequential adjustment occasioned by the approval of 30,000 naira minimum wage as of April 2019 by President Muhammadu Buhari. Still from Nigeria, Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has apologized to Imo workers for delayed payments of salaries in the period of automation and biodata capturing. Uzodinma disclosed this during the May Day celebration, which was held at Rear Admiral Ndubisi Kano Square in Owerri. The governor also said the state government has commenced the payment of over 169 billion naira in gratuities and in pensions owed retirees in the state cumulatively since 2007. You are listening to Citizen FM 93.7 News at 6. And now to news on the foreign scene. Russia's armed forces said they have evacuated over 200 people from Sudan on 4 military transport planes. The Defense Ministry said in a statement that the evacuees include diplomats, military personnel, and other Russian nationals, as well as citizens of countries of the former Soviet Union and other friendly countries who asked for help. It added that the fighting in Sudan has killed more than 500 people, displaced tens of thousands, and has triggered an exodus of foreigners and international staff. And in sports, former Manchester United midfielder Nemanja Matic has backed the club to fight for the Premier League title next season. Matic failed to win the title during his 5-year stay at Old Trafford, but the Serbian, who now plays for Roma, believes that the new manager, Erik ten Hag, has brought some progress to the club. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has threatened a television blackout of the year's Women's World Cup in major European countries unless broadcasters improve their offers for rights. Infantino in October criticized broadcasters who he said had offered 100 times less to screen the Women's World Cup compared to the men's tournament. He went on the attack again less than 3 months before the start of the tournament in Australia and New Zealand, calling for a fair price for media rights. Before we end the news, a recap of the highlights. NAFDAC commences investigations on Indomie noodles. Nigerian Army is set to support the federal government's food security policy. And we told you, news on the foreign scene, Russian armed forces has evacuated over 200 people from Sudan. And that's Citizen FM 93.7 News at 6, as edited by Aisha Shuaibu Badegi. To listen to us online, please visit citizenfm.ng. I am DDNO. To stay with us.
Looking for the best in news updates?
Yeah, man.
Listen to Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja.
Now listen.
News on the hour, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 11 a.m. 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. News at noon, 12 noon. News from across the states, 4 p.m. And our major news at